I'm here today with Ricky Baez, who I asked to come on and speak about hiring an HR generalist. Ricky has 20 years of HR experience and has hired his share of folks in this role over the years. So, Ricky, let's start at the top. What is an HR generalist?
An HR generalist is what I like to call the Swiss Army knife of the HR world. This is the jack of all trades and master of none. They've had their hands in every aspect of human resources, just enough to be able to manage it and be able to advise his or her business partners on.
So, they do a little bit of a lot. Is that a fair way to say it?
That's a really good way to say it. I'm going to change how I say that from now on there, Pete. A little bit of a lot. I like that.
Or I bet in many in many cases they do a lot of a lot. That probably happens.
Well, you know
too.
what? That's better because that is 100% true. I was there at some point.
So, what traits do you look for when hiring an HR generalist?
I'm looking for somebody who is able to, who this person obviously needs some good relationship building skills. They need to be able to adhere to all kinds of personalities and egos, because they have to connect with all kinds of employees, all the way from new employees coming into the organization to the executives. And this person needs to be able to carry a conversation and all those different levels of leadership to be able to advise them on employment and labor law issues.
Perfect. Okay, so if you were interviewing, what is a go-to question that you always like to ask?
Ooh. So Pete, here's what I like to find out about my HRGs. I would like my HRGs to be able to have difficult conversations in a way that propels the relationship forward, and you're still able to hit the goals of the organization. So I have a specific detailed question that I like to ask, and here it goes. I ask him, tell me about a time when you had to convince a leader to separate employment of a well-liked team manager. Let me explain this one. So after an investigation is done, and after an investigation is complete of this well-liked team manager, and you conduct the investigation, and now it's time to make a recommendation to separate employment, I want to see the skill sets that you have to be able to communicate this difficult information to the business leader about somebody that's well liked, but legally you do have to separate. If I can see that that HRG is able to carry that conversation and really advise that business leader what needs to be done and actually do it, that is a valuable skill set that candidate has, and I want that person on my team.
Perfect. That sounds like a good way to narrow down the field for sure. And
That's right.
I bet you hear some interesting answers along the way when you ask that question.
I'm writing a book.
Perfect. Well, we'll look forward to the book. But in the meantime, that's it for now. Ricky, thanks so much for your input today.
Thank you, Peter. Really appreciate being on. Have a good one.